Hello and welcome back to the Roads of Elden Ring DLC edition. Today I've decided I want to visit this castle over here. And I also want to finish this castle. So let's have a look at it from the top-down perspective from the map. Overall it looks pretty simple. We have a few loose buildings. There's a building, for example. Here are a few buildings. We have this part, which is technically not part of this castle. A few buildings in here, then there's a big bridge leading, well, around this lake, I guess, and to the final piece over here. And this is exactly the way we have to take. And look how the color changes all of a sudden. I mean, not really all of a sudden, it takes a while. But with this blue hue, we go into the castle. Once we go out, it vanishes slowly at some point, hopefully. Yeah, they've done with the changes, like the atmospheric changes they were in the From Software games. Since, I don't know, probably even Demon Souls, since the beginning. But in this game it's less abrupt. Like if you remember in Dark Souls 1, for example, when you're in the depths area and you transition to, like, you finish the depths and now you want to go to Blighttown. Once you open the big gate, where this big hole is, where you have to descend the ladder. Once you open the gate, all of a sudden everything shifts to a green color instantaneously. Here it's a bit more subtle, but I mean the change is visible, making this of course a magic type area, because it's blue. Magic in this game is blue. And I mean, here we also have, as a welcome, a nice carrion troll, I think. They're called trolls, right? Yeah. Carrion troll. Who has a carrion weapon and the stupid-ass helmet on. No armor, though. I'm kinda glad that they don't have armor on. Let's see if we can find anything around here, because when we have that much space to explore, there's bound to be something somewhere, right? And it's not disappointing. Smithing stone, always nice to have. Especially with all the new weapons you find here. Then a small teaser over there. More mages. Or more magic stuff, I should say. Some items here and there. Looks like an armory. Well, that's steep. Quite the nice decor. For some reason, no door though. Kinda... I mean... it doesn't matter. Kinda like that there is no door in there. Of course, more people got burned and impaled here, and then we have the staircase. Let's see where this leads. Left and right are buildings. Let's have a look. This big building. Can we actually enter this one? Probably not, right? I mean, there aren't even windows there. But this is inaccessible. If we are lucky, and we're probably not, we can enter this place, or we can reach the top of this place, but no. I mean, no, we definitely can. From a staircase. This is always so odd, like, that they have staircases like this. Because, again, how do you carry up wagons and stuff? If you have an ox cart, for example, they have to stop here, they can't. This is... Here, on the other hand, we have a ramp. where it's much more possible, right? It's kind of odd that they switch between staircase and natural ground, I guess. But here we have access to this. Okay, here we have access to this rooftop. And it's just a... I mean... it's quite simple. Let me quickly jump on top of this part before it breaks. But sadly we can't explore this building from the inside, but at least we have access to the roof, which is nice. But this place is kind of strangely built, but it looks amazing. Or it feels amazing, it feels fun. Like there's a building over there, no clear visible... Right, there's no ladder in there, right? So there is no way for anyone getting into the, I guess, second or even third story of this building. Like these windows are completely useless because there is nothing there, which is unfortunate. But you can already see an item there. Like this place looks huge. Even with this building part here in the background, this looks huge. This looks way bigger than it actually is. And it's just this part here. It's such a small area for the player to explore, but it looks enormous. Kind of unfortunate that they haven't learned, so to speak, with their building design, I think. Pretty good weapon here, the milady. But what I mean by that is, like, we have this building, we have this one room in this building, but it's so tall, but it's just this one small room. At least in the ceiling, right? They should have put a square there that you could remove and put a ladder there so that you can reach the second story. Something like this. A hint of someone could go there, but you, the player, can't go there. Because we didn't model this area, right? But there is something here. At least from the inside. Because how am I supposed to reach this? From the inside of this mountain? That's somewhat far-fetched. But man, I really love this this waterfall. Like, looking from up here, like, it's kind of weird. The spring should be here somewhere, right? Or, yeah, should be somewhere here. Because the water's coming from up here, but needs to come from somewhere. It can't just spawn up here. But doesn't matter, like, water flows down here, down the waterfall, and on the other side as well, creating this island here. And that's not only a pretty well or pretty easy to defend place, but it looks also amazing. And it's a very nice fantasy, right? Having this castle surrounded by water and cliffs, it has its charm, somewhat romantic even. Of course, we have now Mesmer's soldiers occupying this place, partially. Seemingly working together with the Carrion family. Because, well, they don't fight each other and the Carrions are still... Maybe they occupied this place, who knows? There's probably lore to that, but I'm not here for the lore. But that's what the visual storytelling is telling me, right? Because so far we've seen the Mesmer soldiers burning everyone inside here, inside the Shadowlands. But for some reason, the Carrion soldiers they're fine. So I wonder if they work together. That would be my conclusion here. Right. This is also a bit strange. Why is it laggy here? I don't get why my frames are breaking at some point. Underneath us there is this item that lures us, but I don't really want to jump down from here, even though this looks... I mean, this definitely looks like you could survive it. I mean, there's always the prison stone, or what are they called? Rainbow stone test, and yes, we survive it. We jump down here, grab our reward, have this useless piece of wall and building here. Why even bother with these crenellations or whatever these are called if you can't even get here? Huh? It's kind of weird. Then going back inside the cave. We end up, well, in the cave where we started. And I guess I didn't see this outright, but I mean, it signals you that there's more to this cave here, right? Looping back around once again. We have soldiers with a campfire here, or bonfire, whatever. And again a strange building here with no door. But at least this time the ceiling somewhat fits. If we have a look how high the ceiling is. I mean, that's agreeable. I mean, they could have put the ceiling higher up so they have more space in here, but I guess it's fine with this building, right? This one is inaccessible, unfortunately. And we have a bait here. This is bait. As you can see, bait for the dog to attack you. Nice little trap. And Mikula was actually here as well. We got a Castle Cross message here, a note from someone. A message left by Needle Knight letter, addressed to kindred spirits who also pursue Mikula's trail. Kind Mikula seeks the tower sealed by shadow, and the gate of divinity found there. If we are to reach him, we must burn the tree that seals the path, and for that we require a flame. And who, of course, has a flame? Right, it's Mesmer. I abandon here the flesh of my body, even more flesh. I guess there's a bunch of flesh on one's body that you can get rid of. I wonder if it's taken literally. It must be, right? I mean, this is obviously not a piece of flesh lying here, but in a way it is. In a way it is, really, right? Because these are parts of Mikula. But, I mean, it's just glow. I wonder how it works, if it's like you cut off your spiritual body, part of your spiritual body, or your literal body. Because and then the pieces of your body become these golden lights. What even is that? How would you survive? How would you describe this? Fog? Fire? Whatever. And they become this, I guess. How awkward would that be? Like, imagine you have to get rid of certain aspects of your body. How do you do it? Do you take a knife and carve it off? That would be... Or is it more spiritual? Because, yes, he is laying off, like, body parts, but later on also some emotions, I think. It's kind of weird. This soldier is a nice indicator, because we can't get through this gate yet. We have to go around. but they've placed a soldier here with the torch even to grab our attention. And grabbing our attention he indeed is. Looks down here, there's even a corpse signaling to us that there is, like, that this is a possible path. And once we grab this item, there is no going back. So they force us into this cave down here. With even more dogs. I guess this one is programmed to bark once someone drops down here to give the player a bit more time. And these are lying on the ground, so the player has even more time, right? Because otherwise, if they would just stand here like this and the player falls down, they would immediately rush the player down. But in this way, the one dog is barking, signaling the other dogs that there is an enemy, but the player at the same time has time to react to this encounter. Now we are on the eastern waterfall of this castle Ensis. If we go back around, we have to jump over this gap. Most, if not all, of these jumps, or jumps in this game in general, you can do while just regularly walking, I've noticed. There might be a few jumps where you actually have to sprint, but the majority of jumps you have to make, not all of them, the majority of jumps you can just make by just walking and then jumping. Of course, if you sprint, it feels easier and you feel more secure. Now the next part is quite something. This could look so epic, but the water sadly is a bit old. Doesn't look that good, at least in my opinion. Like this white, I mean, it's better than in previous titles, but I've seen better water in games. Epic nonetheless. And we can see a cave in here, but I feel this cave is a bit underutilized because there's just not resin here. And nothing more. Like, it looks like there should be more in here. And if there would be more in there, they could make this a bit more hidden. Make it a bit harder to see through the water there. As a nice little Easter egg. Well, not Easter egg, but just a secret, I guess. Let's go inside. I guess they need access to some water, which makes sense. But then you would probably also need some sort of mechanism to, for example, if you have to get water, where you can pull up a water bucket or something. That would make things a bit easier than one having to climb down and climb up again. Another trigger, I see. This kinda made me jump, not gonna lie. Let's see how high this one is. Ah, that's quite high. Ah. More architecture being wasted. What I mean, like, what I meant earlier, in the ceiling of this building, you could easily make a small cutout somewhere on the ceiling where you put a ladder that is maybe too high, like the ladder is up there or something, but it's broken down, whatever, to indicate that there is a second floor in here. And they actually have the model of these, of the structure part that I mean. They've actually used it in a few areas, but not in this, sadly. If I remember correctly, this... oh, maybe not. But this winding thing looks very similar to the one in Stormvale Castle. I wonder if it's the same model. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if they would use the same model, but, well... maybe they remade this. Here it even might... here it would make even more sense for someone to model a hole in the ceiling where you can access the other stories, because you somehow need to maintain this mechanism, right? Imagine something is stuck up there, and not down here, but somewhere in this mechanism up in this building. Then you're screwed if you can't access this one. But so far, if you have to, if you're visiting this place, you have to go in here, up the staircase, through a cave that spits you out at this part. And of course you have to go through this gate, but... I mean, usually if you're being expected, you don't have to jump down there. And now we're here. Now we're here, and the blue hue, it's still there, but it's not as extreme as it was at the beginning, which I'm glad. Because the blue hue was kinda... I'm not really a fan of making everything like extremely blue or extremely colorful, so that it doesn't look natural. But man, this looks nice, right? The colors are a bit muted. Could be a bit more colorful, but that wouldn't really fit the game, would it? Or more strings. So far the enemies are nothing special, nothing we haven't seen before. Even like the troll and the sorcerer or the magic dude inside were just from the base game, so no new enemies. New enemies to this place, that is. Of course, like the soldiers are from this DLC, so they are technically new, but yeah, they got triggered to jump. It's actually a pretty good hiding place in these bushes. Especially for PvP. If you're invading here and you're make yourself look like the host and such, you can pretty easy hide in these. Now let's see what we're looking at. A lake. I kinda wish they would make this lake a bit more magical. Of course, if we jump down here we die, because this is not a moat, a lake, whatever. I kinda wish they would put something down there, something mysterious or something. That would look amazing. Here we're supposed to get bombarded by these idiots. I think there are more here, right? Yeah. There's one over here. These are the enemies that become... that turn invisible, right? Like you can see here. And then, like, they shoot one projectile, they go invisible and walk somewhere else. I think there's a third one here somewhere, maybe? Maybe not. Still kind of unfortunate. This is so awkward. This is really awkward. You suppose, like, this place has been built so that someone could stand up here, right? You have these, you can shoot through there. Someone slightly bigger than this character can attack over this thing, whatever. and somewhat take cover here. Ugh, excuse me. So this place is supposed to be used, right? But how are you supposed to get here? Let's just imagine everything is intact. I guess this one. Okay, they haven't made the mistake. Never mind. I wonder what would be over here. Like, this is broken down clearly, right? This is destroyed piece of wall. But then over here, there must have been something similar to this end piece here, or to this corner piece, I would imagine. But does that really fit here? Eh. Because no, this is the only way of getting here, right? Sadly, again, you can't enter this building and then see a cutout somewhere with a ladder, but you get the... I think you get the idea by now. Probably even the first time, but I like to point things out. It's kind of unfortunate that they haven't done this, at least in this DLC. This is something that I definitely critiqued in my reviews of the places of the base game. But they're doing the same mistake here. I wonder if this is still something they're doing in their next big game. I hope not. I hope they're giving these places even more thought, because that would be amazing. If you could actually look at these places and they feel so realistic that you can't even find something that is off. Except maybe like magical flames, who cares? Right? But oh, this... You can probably go into this tower over there at somewhere, because why would you build this if you can't get up there to maintain it? I mean, with these smaller ones, yes, these are just for decoration purposes, right? But then the bigger one, there's probably a bell in there or something. Or maybe a lookout or whatever. But nope, it's closed off. There's no way of getting there. Not even an indication on how to get there. I mean, it shouldn't be accessible to the player, necessarily. If you don't want this to be accessible, you can easily make it inaccessible. But at least show me that there is something, right? Here we have another Carrion Knight that we have to fight, similar to a PvP fight. This one has a, I think, somewhat special sword. It's not just the... let's see. Where are the big swingy swords? I probably missed them already, yeah. Let's see. The buff here, right. Right. With the Troll Knight sword, which looks like this, and then we have the Moonrithel's Knight sword, which looks like this, exactly the same, but it has a different Ash of War. This one has a Troll's Roar, and this Tremendous Phalanx, which is the spell where the swords appear around here, right? Right. So I guess this dude or person, this person is called Moonrithel, whatever. Kind of hard to pronounce. Let's see what's down here. We have a chest. Okay, some sort of room to learn or do stuff, or... Is this the firewood? That's kind of nice. Let's see, in here we have another shield, very nice. And at least we have doors now. That's an upgrade. We have doors. Down there, in this part, they don't have the luxurious doors. They have to be content with open spaces like... Even there is a door. But this one has no door. Why is there no door here? Like, you have doors for your smaller entrances. Or for your smaller rooms. And no windows. I hope you block this window off with magic or something when it starts raining. You don't want the rain in here. You don't want the rain to get on your carpet and on your precious scrolls here. Just imagine how fast the carpet would mold. Ugh. Would get moldy. At least we have a door here. And of course, it's a chapel. They really like to do this, right? They really like to start an area with a chapel. They've done this now multiple times, I think. If we go... no, wrong button. If we go back and have a look at Leyndell. Right here, if we take the path that the player has to take, if we go in here, we end up in a chapel area. Like, you go in through the second entrance, into the wall, into a chapel. Very religious then. Let's see what this ghost has to say. What kind of bothers me about all of these ghosts is that they have these fungi growing around them. That feels kind of weird. O America, I beg embrace your child and give us a sign. How long must this holy war stretch on? Right. I mean, America discarded him as well. Unfortunate. Then we got this cameo. Talisman featuring a gallant portrait of Relana, the Twin Moon Knight. Enhances attacks executed after maintaining the same stance for a certain length of time, engraved as a reminder of the unparalleled devotion of those who left their homelands to serve Relana. By your leave, we will accompany you wherever your lunar vessel takes you. Right. More magic dudes with the stupid ass helmets. Or stone helmets? Yeah, stone helmets. Finally, we see more interior here. But it's not overwhelmingly beautiful, I must say. Fairly bare bones, and then we're already through this place. What even is the purpose of this corridor then? Feels weird. Magic dude shooting magic at us, of course. Let's see if we can... Like, this is invited. This has been built in a way that lets me think that I can jump on this shelf over there and then get to this bastard that is shooting at us. No. Can't get there. But what you can do, just for fun of course, think over here, or maybe on the other side. On the other side, I guess. Yeah, we can jump here, we can jump there. Then from here we can jump on this thing. And even go around, and we don't have to open this gate. We can't even open this gate from this side. That's something. This is made to grab your attention, of course. If there weren't an item, you would miss this place much more likely than you would with the item. And oh well, we find a ladder over here. Where does this ladder lead us? To another one. Oh, where does it lead us? To a page and this magic dude. Getting his ass covered by this one over here. Nice teamwork though. Here we can do a bit of roof hopping. You can drop down here to this weirdest place with barrels and boxes and a bucket even. But then there's nothing. No door. No ladder over here. We got glintblade trio, sorry. And a wall that has been broken down, but how do we get here? Of course you have to take a ladder and put it up here and then remove the ladder, so you are safe, but the invader is not. That's far-fetched. Such a far-fetched idea. Strange area, nonetheless. Let's see. Let's keep going, let's keep going. At least the ceiling is fairly high in here. Not hiding a second floor. And at least we have a door here. But now let's open this somewhat beautiful gate, I must say. Not necessarily the gate, but I really like these I really like the addition of the flower pots up there. I think that looks amazing, don't you think that? Like, look at that, it looks nice. That's a nice small detail. You don't really need to put these there. But holy shit, these lances are huge. Probably for the trolls. But now we're on the outer wall. It's fairly unlikely that the enemy's coming from there. I think. I mean, it depends on how big the enemy army is and what kind is it taking here. If it's like giants or trolls, I guess, then that's still very high. But I guess better a defensive position more than less. Again, these flower pots signaling that we are coming closer to the royal area. Is how I would describe it. This is one of these tower parts. Is it? That's exactly this one. That one looks different. Let's see. I really like this round piece here. Sadly though, that this is not suitable for this character height, I guess, but looks quite nice, this place. And a tower, of course. What I don't get though, and this is so silly, like instead of having an entrance here for your soldiers so they are safe when they go from wall piece to wall piece, no, you put a staircase to the outside. To the outside, you place your staircase. Not even on the inside, it's on the outside. Imagine being in a war and you have to go from this part of the wall to the other one, and now you're open. You have no cover. You have to run up the staircase and pray of not getting hit. Instead, just put the staircase in here. Make it a bit more safe. Then we have this mini boss fight. This one can chuck on his not Estus flask. What are these called? This one has a cerulean tear flask. I don't know if every one of these has a flask, but this one in particular likes to drink his life juice. Elevator, of course, because you can't have a place like this without a nonsensical elevator. Nonsensical because you see there's no mechanism behind this, it's just... It's not even magic in a magic place like this. Look, it's even clipping through the ceiling there. Holy shit. I hate it even more. But now we're getting into the dining area, I guess. So far, no sleeping quarters. Kinda strange. Where are these people sleeping? But at least we have a dining hall. The lord or the lady of the house sits here, or both, I guess. And maybe their advisor. And then the guests. Let's see, what do they have? Yes, yes. Nothing really. We have this dude here. Let's see, is there an indicator? Ah, not really. Not really, but if you're observant, you can see that you can jump down here to this cliff part. And then, oh, there is a tower over there. Oh. How do we get there? Oh, we can drop down here. That's something nice. And now we are in this place. That's like this weird, awkward extension. And we have a tower on top. Oh, finally a staircase. I really like the staircase. And now finally we have an actual ladder. It's not just empty in here. Oh, and even another ladder. You could put holes in here so you can shoot out of this place. Small arrow slits. But now comes the... And here! Like, this is the cutout that I was thinking of. We even have this cutout here, and then the lid, I guess. We even have cutouts. And then we get an Ash of War, and then this stupid gamey thing here that just exists so you don't have to descend. This is so stupid, these platforms. But I like the flow. The gameplay flow with these platforms is amazing. But the world design kind of suffers. Because why would you have these platforms there? You can't even access them. But then again, how are you supposed to get to this tower? Like, I had to jump down from a balcony from the dining hall. And here we have nothing again. Like, there's not even an entrance here, secret entrance for the soldiers. Ah. We have to drop down here. That's fairly high. And we have to drop down here. That's also fairly high. And we have to say hi to this dude again. Ah, whatever. There's not much to explore. There's just one boss fight and then the boss arena that we can explore, I guess. So let's wait a bit. So that is morning. And let's fight the boss. And let's see who we can summon here. Because we can summon someone indeed, and it's Needle Knight Ladder. Isn't that nice? Let's summon her. Do I have an upgraded? No. Okay. Not needed then, I see. Let her fight the boss. Or we just stare at each other? Let's have a listen though. Like we can hear nobility out of there, but also militaristic aspects, especially the snare drum, I think. The typical military drum sound. Quite quick. Let's see her fight. I'm not that good at describing music. Oh, we can even have a look at her, right? Quite the big character. Two fancy looking swords. The one blue from the Carrion family. The magic sword. And this one has a red grip thingy. And this snake fire pattern has a golden engraving. Let's have a look at her armor. At the engravings on her armor, if you can see anything from there. Looks like the veil that we have on top of the tree here. Let's compare it to this one. Oh, this one has thorns. Oh, we're not looking at leather now. Let's see. These kind of look like dragon wings to me, or leaves, I guess. But dragon wings would make more sense. And then of course the helmet with the crescent moons. Twin moon she's called, this is why she has two. But alright, if we have a look at the arena, it looks fairly similar to the arena that we have in the Carrion Manor, where we fight the image of Loretta, the blue phantom Loretta. And this pool is being used to watch the stars during the night. Because imagine looking up all the time is a bit... It's straining, right? It's not a pleasant experience if you have to look up all the time. So, looking down is much easier. And you have this water as a mirror reflecting the sky, which makes it much easier. But now we want to see you two fight, right? Come on, Leda. No, Leda can't fight. Unfortunate. Oh no, she can. How lucky. Come on, stop ignoring me. Stop ignoring Leda, I mean. Why do I take all the aggro? That's not a fair fight. Finally, okay. Let's see if Leda has a chance. Nice stagger. Ah, she doesn't stop attacking. Oh. I still want to know what the requirements for her are, or what the coding is behind her changing target. Hey, stop changing target! You're fighting Leda, not me. You're making it easier for her than it's supposed to be. Come on, now. Stop focusing me, for fuck's sake. That's ridiculous. You're giving Ladder a chance, that's... I wish they would take the riposte. For fuck's sake. And still. Ooh. Music change as well. Aww. Ooh, Ladder. Oh, where is she? Ooh, now. Here we go. Ah, what a nice move. And even fun, like the move is very fun to fight against, I feel like. Because you're getting rewarded for jumping. But oh well, Ladder is dead. Let's have a look at her moves for a bit. The phalanx, yeah. You can dodge these by just circling around her. The heavy ones you can avoid by just walking, and even that one. Oh well. Let's finish things. No. Stop attacking me. Of course we get the worst weather. Foggy weather. Oh well. So where is it? Where is it? HUD off. Here we go. Let's rest to wash away the blood and maybe teleport back so we have a better weather, maybe, please. I don't want to end this episode with fog, for fuck's sake. Whatever. If we go inside, we don't really see the fog. But well, we are technically done with this place. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at it from the outside. But please give me a better weather, please. I beg you, game. Let's progress time a bit. And just pray that it's going to change to a normal sunny weather. Ugh, the blue hue here. Ugh. Looks awful, I feel like. But we're having a look at this place later. We are here. Just a facade from the outside. It's completely empty. Wall is somewhat thick. But there's no way for someone getting there. But it kind of looks like... Nope, wrong item. We can see an entrance there. At least it looks like an entrance. So that's something. Sadly, we can't explore this one. There's ladder with another cross. But what I wanted to have a look at is this part here. Come on, let me through. Because this is technically not part of Castle Ensis, but it's part of Castle Ensis. Come on, right? We can descend somewhere here into this riverbed that... Where is it coming from? The water just exists in here. Should come from somewhere over here, right? But here we have the ability to teleport us away, similar to the 4 belfries. But we can also access part of Castle Ensis from here. If we were to follow the eastern side of the river. We can jump on this part. Grab our item. Hooray, fog again. My favorite. What we can also do, and this is somewhat awkward, we can jump on these boxes to jump on the crenellations here. And I think over here it's a bit easier. And then just keep going, keep going. Once we are around this place, we can then jump down here and gain access to that part. But this feels somewhat awkward. It feels to me that they intended another path, but here we are. Then technically we can also jump down from the other side, so we can reach this place over there, but you're getting the point. I don't feel like getting down there, like jumping down from here. But yeah, this is it. This is Castle Ensis. Let's recap things and evaluate it a bit. Let's start with the map, because right now the map looks better than the overworld, sadly, because of the fog. It's quite the nice, short, compact legacy dungeon. Not too big, not too small. Ballarat felt bigger. And I mean, yes, it's a city, and this is a mere castle. So yes, it's supposed to be bigger, it's supposed to look bigger. It's a fairly straightforward path. There are not many paths that lead to side areas. There are a few, luckily, especially at the end, where we jump to this tower from the balcony to the tower itself, and then loop back around. That's quite nice. Sadly, there are no new enemies inside. Every single enemy in this castle was something that we've seen before in the base game, or was already introduced to us in this DLC. And the enemy variety is quite small. Other than that, gameplay-wise, level design-wise, it's fun. It's fun to go through. The enemies are not too hard, they're not too unfair. There's some dicey situations, especially on this part here, where you can be overwhelmed with enemies, so you have to be a bit more cautious. The small PvP fight with the NPC, not PvP, but the fight against the player character NPC is quite fun. Moon something. Yeah. Item varieties, nice too. We get a new weapon, the Milady, with a pretty cool moveset. And technically the boss also gives us a pretty cool weapon with a cool moveset. We get at least one Ash of War, maybe two, I don't know, I can't remember. I just went through this place. No, we get two, I think, yeah. I mean, we have everything in here that we want, loot-wise. Enemy variety-wise is a bit lackluster. I feel like they could have introduced a completely new enemy type. Would it make sense? Probably not, but still would be nice. Level design, the level itself, also quite nice, fairly linear, but with a few twists. Like, it's not only stone, not only man-made stuff, with also a bunch of nature, especially with the waterfalls and then the grass parts in between the buildings. Is quite nice. It's not a very straightforward path. We have to go through caves, we have to take detours basically through this place. It feels quite nice. So the actual level, the physical level the player has to go through is also fun. With fun in mind, designed with fun in mind, whatever. Now to the world design. The place looks believable from a fantasy game type of thing. Looks nice. Just a few nitpicky things that you can't really... Like, some buildings don't even have doors, and then so much missing space that is inaccessible, or where there is not even an indication that it's accessible. Maybe not just for the player, but... Right, we've talked about this, just for the recap. Not really a fan of the completely blue hue at some points. Feels a bit too much. But I guess, well, I get why they've done it, right? Blue is like magic area. And we're in a magic area, wow. So original. But other than that, it's architecture that we've seen already. It's like the Carrion architecture type. I think, at least. I hope I'm not wrong of that. But it's not new architecture. Like, Ballarat is, for example, new architecture, right? It's the Hornsend kind of style, but this again is the Carrion kind of style. So we're already familiar with this, which is not a bad thing. It's nice that they're consistent with that. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Or maybe if this would be a separate magic faction that just got overtaken by the Carrion family or something, I would be fine too. But yeah, pretty decent area. I think Ballarat is still better, and certain upcoming areas are also better. But it's a good middle of the road kind of thing. A bit, I would say not middle of the road, it's still above average, don't get me wrong. But compared to the DLC areas, or especially to the DLC legacy dungeons, this is middle of the road, I think. But yeah, let me know what you think about this area. Have I missed certain things? Or whatever. Write something. Doesn't matter what you write something. Always nice to have some comments. I read every single comment. some later than some earlier than others, but eventually I read all of them. Not necessarily reply, whatever. Let me know if you like this one, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.